does something inside you spiritually that allows you to understand that, every moment we have in this life is beautiful.
You're a traitor to your people!
And you're the devil. You kill innocent people.
There's no innocent people!
That's it, love brings everything. The happiness, the dreams, the family, the friends, everything. Actually, love, it's everything.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Liberty Libations number 102. I'm going to be talking at lower volume today because my neighbor's baby is sleeping like right there. And I know that makes it sound like I kidnapped my neighbor's baby and put it in my attic, but actually in my neighbor's basement right now because our house is being renovated before we sell it in January. So welcome to the show. My name is Jake Green, joined as always by Steven, Zane, and Alden. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
It's been 2 weeks. Steven, what are you drinking tonight, man?
I've got a nice little mix. New Rum Kick Flipper is one of my all-time favorites, but then repping a Florida beer. Got the old Elephant Foot IPA.
Alden,
a non-IPA.
I don't know that one.
Elysian Night Owl.
I know Elysians because I used to live out in Seattle.
What kind of beer is Night Owl?
So the Night Owl it's a pumpkin beer, but it is fan-freaking-tastic. Let me see what all's in it here. Let's see.
I like that it's a pumpkin beer, but it's fantastic.
I agree with the but.
So spiced and conditioning with nutmeg, clove, cinnamon, ginger, and allspice.
Okay.
Most pumpkin beers are not my favorite pumpkin beer is from Florida.
This one is actually award-winning. So,
well, that means absolutely nothing. There are plenty of Oscars that won awards that are shit terrible.
That's true.
All right, Zane, what are you drinking, man?
I've got a cherry pie craft cider from the Atlanta Hard Cider Company.
I love that one. That one's so good. Nikki gets those. They're delicious. Alden, what do you got, man?
I got a Cotter and just a backup Rumpelmann's peppermint schnapps because 'tis the season.
Nice. I've got Wee Beastie Ardbeg.
That's one of my favorites.
It is now my go-to lower end Scotch. If you like Scotch and you have not had Wee Beastie by Ardbeg, highly recommend.
I think it's the best 6-year Scotch I've had.
It's amazing.
It drinks like most 8s or 10s. Like
I can't believe that it's only a 6-year Scotch.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so stinking good. Well, y'all, how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Did y'all have a good time?
Oh, it was good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had COVID, so that was fun.
Oh, you did?
Nice. I was recovering from mono, so
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Shocker to know I'm not vaccinated, so I'm still getting it because I know all the vaccinated people don't get COVID anymore.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize this was tongue in cheek because
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
We've got to keep the episode up on YouTube.
There we go. Grumpy
Right.
says he's drinking sweet tea. That sounds pretty good. I hope it's spiked with something. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since we did a show. I missed out in the last minute for our last show since that was the night I came down with COVID. So that was fun.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, bailed last minute. So, just a reminder, this show is brought to you by Rabbit Eye Wine. We need to inquire about our next shipment of this delicious wine. If you have never had blueberry wine, highly recommend you go. If you're in Georgia, you can go to your local package store and pick one up. If you're outside of Georgia, you can order it. They ship to like 37 states or something like that. So rabbiteyewine.com, very simple. And Rabbit Eye makes it sound like they're murdering bunnies and putting it in the wine, but they're actually, it's just blue.
They're just using the eyes to test to make sure that it doesn't cause a reaction to people, like the eyedropper thing. So
yeah, Rabbit Eye, that's just it's a very unfortunate name for a grape, a type of grape. Like
It's a blueberry.
Or blueberry, that's what I mean, type of blueberry.
Yeah.
Who wants to be eating little rabbit eyes?
Wait, you're
It is
telling
odd,
me that that's
honestly.
not what we're doing? I've got to stop drinking this.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe they call it that because they pop the same way.
I had the same thought. That's why I left. Gross.
Yeah, and for those of you who tuned in from the very beginning, we now have a slightly new intro. We're going to be putting little promos for Ciesieslki Network and different products that we're putting out there these days. We have our brand new Cascade Effect merch that is technically launching tomorrow, but you get a little sneak preview today. It's the Let Me See Your Warrant sweatshirt and t-shirt. And it's based off the fact that those were the last words, basically, of Mike Hansen before he was gunned down by a cop on his own property without a warrant. And so you can show your support for the show and stand in solidarity with him and his family. Purchase one of these shirts. It's, my network doesn't make a ton of money at the moment. Surprisingly, Liberty Libations does not rake in millions of dollars in cash every week. So
We're almost there.
Becoming a member, Dollar Media Club member, helps a lot. Go on our website. We've got some great stuff, and you get some massive benefits from it as well, including joining our Discord, where these three, along with a bunch of other folks, chat about politics, news, all sorts of stuff. Zane is very pretentious in the chat most of the time. Really only talks.
Highbrow.
Yeah, very highbrow. That's what I meant. Sorry, Zane. Those two things. I get those just confused.
Yeah.
I will say, while we're on the topic of merch, I see we've got the stickers, the Liberty Libation stickers now in the store.
Yes,
but I have to tell you, the people demand the sticker packs.
The sticker
$10 for each individual sticker is very steep, but the people demand them in a pack.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. A sticker.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah. There's each of us have our own medieval character on there. Alden's is probably my favorite. It's the Alden Makes Me Hardee.
I haven't seen this yet.
No. I didn't go for Alden's approval on that one. So it might be a limited edition at this point.
No, it's
Collector's item.
Oh my god.
Collector's
It'll
item.
be like the inverted Jenny.
That surprised me so much. It brought like a tear to my eye. I laughed so hard at that.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
the Nick sticker is Mr. Manhole.
Oh my God. That's perfect.
Steven's the etymologist. Zane
Nice.
is the highbrow hater.
Highbrow. Yeah.
And I'm the Bitcoin bimbo. And then I forget what Zach says. Dadgummit. Oh, the shadow lurker. He's the shadow.
Oh, because he's behind the scenes here.
He's always behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Anybody who's new to the show, welcome to Liberty Libations. We kind of go over some of the biggest stories and news over the past week, but we have been leaning more towards the philosophical side of things recently. So we'll hit on a few of the things that happened this past week, but then we'll take it to a more philosophical place, and then we'll apparently get a rant from Mr. Alden Hardee later on tonight.
Oh yeah,
See how that goes.
a mini rant.
Mini rant. I love a
Yeah.
mini rant. All right, let's bring up the first video, Zach. All right, everybody's seen this at this point. If you haven't, oh my gosh,
That's really small.
hang on. I forgot to set my lineup for fantasy football.
Oh God, so did I.
Oh no.
No.
It's just
I don't
Green Bay
even
and
know.
Detroit tonight, y'all. It's
Go
just
ahead.
Green Bay and Detroit.
Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
great.
Go ahead and hit play on this, Zach. You can bring it back up. Go ahead and hit play. Yeah, so that is the CEO of United Healthcare getting gunned down at 6:30 in the morning outside his hotel by 3 shots. I think 2 to the chest, 1 to the calf. And the guy walks off, gets on an e-bike, and drives to Central Park, and disappears. Supposedly, we'll get to this here in a little while. Supposedly, they have photos of him without his mask on now. We're going to get to that in a little while.
So he's a super spreader and an assassin.
There we go. Yeah. Steven,
Chemical warfare or biological.
There we go. Steven, what was your first like thought when you heard it was the CEO of United Healthcare?
I mean, I instantly thought assassination. I didn't think like, oh, this guy got mugged. But
He didn't even bother to check it, take a wallet or anything. He just 3-capped him and left. Like, yeah, no, that's not a mugging.
Well,
Nick said that the CEO had information that could result in the arrest of Hillary Clinton. That's why. That's why he got it done.
Yeah, there we go.
Unless I'm mistaken, unless someone said that he was also robbed or whatever, but I haven't heard anything about that.
No, nothing. I mean, you saw nothing was taken from his corpse.
That's what. Yeah,
it's a
didn't
total
look
Seth
like.
Rich job.
It's
Just
a wild
both of
one, man.
For-
It's
For an
crazy.
assassination, it doesn't read like the most professional. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
In the sense,
Well,
the-
so we're
the
gonna
getaway plan is an e-bike is weird, and the
Right.
gun keeps not going back into
Yeah,
battery.
like the
every
gun
shot.
jammed. He had to unjam the gun like all
like
of
3
this is like-
times.
yeah, like was this posted on 4chan as a joke, and then like some artist just like, I got this.
It's weird.
what I think happened with the gun is he used. Nick mentioned this, but then I went and did some research. Like it seems like he used subsonic rounds. Which
okay.
then
So
you
it's
have
not
to
enough
rack it
gas
every
to,
time.
or,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to rack it every time. Small caliber subsonic rounds with a silencer. Mean you are going to have to rack it after every.
But see, a professional would have changed their slide spring to a lighter spring. A true professional.
Yep.
A true
Not that I know anything about.
I disagree with that. We need to dig into this now.
Because I have
maybe,
some
or maybe the
subsonic
professional
rounds.
did it like that to appear unprofessional, to take the heat off himself.
Gosh, it's 5D chess all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you know that
Zach,
I know that you know.
Let's pull up the next bit here. Next video. I think it's a video. Yeah. Go ahead and hit play on that.
Fox 5, Good Day New York, first on the scene. We saw as officers attempted to give this man CPR, those desperate moments. But again, this victim, the man who was shot in the chest, has died. This all happened about 6:45 in the morning outside of the Hilton Hotel right off 6th Avenue. The suspect described as a 6-foot-tall man with a slim build, possibly wearing a cream-colored jacket, black gloves. He took off northbound on 6th Avenue. People who witnessed this situation, there were actually 2 or 3 people who saw it. They said that it appeared that this suspect was waiting for hours, maybe overnight, outside of the Hilton, possibly targeting this victim.
that's
It's
overnight.
unclear
That's
potentially
interesting.
how these two know each other.
I didn't hear hours.
Good
I heard
Day
5
New York,
minutes.
first
what I
on
heard,
the
yeah.
scene.
What I heard is he showed up right before the guy came out.
I heard about 5 minutes, and he was just loitering around that area. I didn't know about overnight.
Those 2 things would be very very different kinds of evidence, because one would lead you to believe, like, if he was there 5 minutes before the guy came
Then he
out,
knows when he's getting there.
he knows
right?
when he's getting down there.
Yeah.
If he's camping out there all night, which wouldn't make any sense.
No, you don't need to
Camp
be
out
there all night.
You need to
No.
get there at like maybe 4 to make sure he's not a super early riser. But like, Yeah,
weird.
I thought that was interesting because that was not a report that I'd heard yet.
That's the first I'm hearing that.
Yeah. Zach, go ahead and bring up the next one. So the words deny, defend, and depose, which also happen to be the name of a book about how insurers won't pay claims, were discovered by the detectives on the shell casings found at the scene.
Oh,
Brian Thompson, the CEO of major insurance group United Healthcare, was gunned down.
this is like some Batman villain crazy shit.
So I think this is a little, it's not entirely accurate. I think the shell casings were empty, nothing written on them. And I think he ejected 3 live rounds that had those things written on them and left
So
them on the ground.
3 extra ones after the job was done. Okay.
Yeah.
Which
extremely
also says how many rounds you knew you were going to shoot then. If you had the 3 unengraved and then 3 engraved, so it's 3 and then 3, that's weird, but
yeah, that leads me to believe that he is extremely confident in his accuracy. And
I agree.
To kill somebody in 3 shots.
I agree.
That's that difficult from 8 feet away, but
no, but you'd be surprised with someone that's untrained and nervous, and if you aren't well, familiar with your weapon, and like if you can keep your nerves down enough to do it, it reads like he's killed before to me. But
yeah, I agree. Zane, you've been not oddly quiet during this. Do you have any thoughts so far?
So I hadn't heard that there was this clear of a motivation for the assassination, because obviously whenever there's an assassination, you are interested in what the motive is. And so if he's, leaving these bullets specifically to be angry at insurance companies, then I think it's pretty clear what the motive is here.
Well, it's not just any insurance company. It's this one, because there's a stat that came out too. Let me throw this at you so you can respond to this with it. United Healthcare denies double the claims of the average healthcare company in the country. Like the running average is like a 16% denial. Yeah. They deny 30+% of their claims.
Jeez.
That explains maybe the engravings a little.
Yeah.
It would be interesting if that was like, if the assassin was aware of that, and that's why he specifically targeted the CEO. I think in the final analysis, we have really Medicare and Obamacare to blame for a lot of this, because those are the things that cause, healthcare for everybody to be wildly overpriced.
Yeah. And
then obviously the health insurance companies don't really mind it being expensive, because what the health insurance companies are essentially doing is taking a percentage, like they're taking, like, it's actually what the Obamacare regulations do is they cap the profit that health insurance companies can make as a percentage of the total premium. So it will be something along the lines of, 80% of all the premium that gets paid to a health insurance company must be spent on providing health care, which means that 20% is left over for everything else, like, administration costs and profit and all that. But when that's your formula, when the government is literally telling you exactly what your margin is, the only way you can actually make more profit is if healthcare is more expensive, because the 20% that's left over from the premiums is higher than it otherwise would have been.
I didn't realize this rule or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Everything the government touch gets worse. It's
yes.
just a rule now. Like,
so obviously the incentive from the insurance companies is not to make it any cheaper than it is. And then they're also required to be providing all these random types of care that nobody ever really needs, but are all really expensive. The doctors and the hospitals can pretty much charge whatever they want because Medicare always pays whatever the doctors tell them to. And so that means the rest of the market pretty much has to match what Medicare is spending, which is essentially unlimited. It's just whenever anybody points at the American healthcare system and says, this sucks, and this is why we need single-payer healthcare, I'm like, I completely agree with you on the first part, but we are already way closer to single payer than a true free market in healthcare.
Absolutely. Well, and let's not try to confuse insurance with care. Those two are not synonymous. I mean, insurance is just like sick and catastrophic coverage, basically.
Yes. That's another thing that Obamacare actually made illegal was catastrophic healthcare coverage.
Yeah.
Which is otherwise known as health insurance. If you buy home insurance with a big deductible, nobody calls that catastrophic home insurance. But for some reason, when it comes to health insurance, if you have a plan with a high deductible, people will call that catastrophic health care coverage. And the Obamacare regulations, obviously the individual mandate is gone now, but when we had the individual mandate, those kind of catastrophic coverage plans did not meet the mandate, which means you had to have these super comprehensive low deductible plans for everybody in the country, or else you had to pay the tax associated with individual mandate, which essentially meant that the entire country had to be obtaining health care in literally the least efficient way imaginable.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Now, one of my initial thoughts when I saw this too, and Nick had to set me straight on this, was maybe Hunter Biden still has some time left on his pardon.
That's another story that I was going to talk about at one point here.
Yeah. Nick was like, I think that expired the night before. I'm like, oh man, okay, so it's not him.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Another thing, the video that we had watched earlier, there was a tweet to go along with it, and it said that Brian Thompson was under DOJ investigation, and then it poses a question: was he about to take a plea deal and reveal all about congressional favors that gained them their monopoly, according to this poster, but gained them at least favors?
Did somebody say false flag? This would actually be hilarious if it was the Congress that commissioned this guy to do this, and then just drop some bullets out of his pocket, pretending like he was some populist messiah.
Yeah, that a little bit of that's kind of what I was thinking. Was
the red herring bullets?
Yeah, that's such an easy one. If you did any research on the subject you're about to kill, and whoever hired you said make it look like somebody else did this,
some
like
disgruntled,
motivated.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I would do. Nick just comments.
And the sad part is that CEOs of that caliber, pun intended, are such scumbags that you can hire somebody to assassinate them for some dark secret, and there's plenty of public secrets or public knowledge that people see that and they go, oh, well, that's why they did it.
Yeah, very true. Let's see. Nick just said David Sachs appointed as White House crypto AI czar. Okay, we'll get to that later. Let's bring up the next photo. So the cops say they have found an unmasked version of this guy. The question is that the same person?
No. Doesn't even look like it to me, but
I mean, looks like a lady.
Yeah, honestly.
The guy on the right is way too attractive looking to be a suspect. He's definitely not a criminal for sure. He's too pretty.
He could be one of the Stamoses. I don't know.
Yeah. But this is a person of interest, according to them. They are not accusing him of anything, but they did blast his photo.
Both are wearing winter clothes in winter, though, So
that the thing around his neck is not a scarf. It actually is a pull-down mask.
No, I know. I can see that it's the buff
it
or
is
whatever.
It is freezing in New York right now because it's winter.
It's going to be 20 degrees tonight here.
It just doesn't look like him.
No, it doesn't. Just from those photos alone,
I mean,
and
it is
from
a
the
white guy,
angles
so
that they are, but
you're just going off if it's a white guy, then yeah, they look the same. But
they're similarly fair-skinned, but
Yeah, I don't think the one on the right's a white guy though.
I honestly it could be olivey, like I don't know.
it's her.
No.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, did y'all see Taylor Lorenz? What she posted after she saw that he got gunned down?
Mm-mm.
She posted information about the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield and stated basically, if someone's out there killing people or killing like
your next target type shit?
Yes.
Like, what are we doing?
Dude, I couldn't believe she posted it.
How is that not one of the things that gets treated as like a whatever,
a cult of violence,
censorship level type
that'll get you
warranted
thrown in a
thing?
black van and beat up pretty quick.
I mean,
that's
that's extremely close to being a call to violence.
I would say it's a lot closer than some of the things that people have been censored for that have been said as like a call to violence.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
not the quickest to even say that about something because like I err on the side of like
there you go
more benefit of the doubt or whatever, but damn, that's
people have
timing
very
is everything.
justified hatred towards insurance company CEOs because these executives are responsible for an unfathomable amount of death and suffering. As someone against death and suffering, someone against death and suffering. What? I think it's good to call out this broken system and the people in power who enable it. And then she posted a photo of the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield. And then tweeted later, and people wonder why we want these executives dead.
Oh,
so, not a good look. Also,
No.
she's gone off the deep end. Like ever since COVID. I mean, she wasn't great before COVID, but ever since COVID, she's lost her dad.
well, she's on Blue Sky for one. Like, why?
Blue Ski.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found it to be. You don't get many. Like, we've seen 2 assassination attempts of a president this year. This one seems, for me, almost more brazen than the other 2. This is broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like barely morning, but like 8 feet from his target, just walks up to him at the Hyatt or Hilton, one of the 2.
Well,
Shoots him in the back.
And who was the witness in the video? Who was that? A bellhop or like?
I think it was a
Somebody
bellhop.
Someone
else
ran
on the
away.
sidewalk was just like, "Oh, let me run."
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? I'm not attacking a guy with a gun. Like, they don't have guns because guns are illegal in New York.
So how did this guy have a gun?
I don't know, man. He's a magician because they're
I don't
illegal.
understand.
You can't have a gun in New York. So,
But yeah, I don't get it.
yeah, it's just an interesting story, and I really want to see how it unfolds.
Is there an Alec Baldwin movie being filmed around the corner?
He's still at large, so we'll see.
Now the weird thing is too.
Alec
like,
Baldwin?
okay,
Is
so
that
New
like-
York City, like, I don't know how many of y'all have been there. I haven't. I just, I have friends that have.
No, I've seen Home Alone 2 though, so
You
I'm an
screw up
expert.
and you run a red light in New York City,
Mhm.
and within 2 blocks there's an instant dragnet. Like basically a daggum SWAT team will, corral you and give you a ticket. Okay, how does a guy like this disappear in Central Park?
I was
Central
wondering
Park
a
is
similar
actually the
thing.
easiest place to disappear. Central Park is enormous. It is not well patrolled. That literally is the one place where you should go if you're trying to run from the cops.
Mhm.
Good to know.
But don't you got to come?
Which you would know. Which you would know if you had ever seen the movie Elf.
Central Park, it's like deceptively enormous, and it encompasses a whole bunch of different terrain and different places. So that would be the one place you would go to disappear. And the fact that it was only like 3 blocks away. So he didn't have to go very far in order to escape
on his little e-bike.
Which is great. Like I think it was a rented e-bike.
What? Don't you have to have card information to rent an e-bike or something?
Yeah, but you can get like disposable cards and stuff. So
Right.
you just prepay for the bike.
That's how Redbox went out of business.
Yeah. Grumpy says NYPD has an army of police. They do. Isn't like the NYPD one of the biggest, like if it was an army, it would be like
compared to nations, armies, or
top
something.
10 nations in the world or something like that.
Wow.
Isn't that correct? I might be wrong in that.
I have no idea.
But, they have so many people, and the fact,
What I want to know about this is how many security, like private security bodyguards, are all the rest of these CEOs gonna start to hire because of this? Like, if I was a CEO of one of these other companies, this would really freak me out.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say, Zane, is that it was big security that murdered this guy. All the other CEOs would be scared and hire their security companies.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing Zane say. I love it when Zane gets into.
So maybe he didn't pay his private security bill, and so they repossessed his security.
There we go. Bloomberg said the NYPD would be the 7th largest military.
That's insane.
And then Zach also says we must protect the CEO of Peaceful Sea.
But I'm going to tweet out his address.
Perfect. That's fine. They can all come. They won't last forever.
You're in the basement next door, so they won't find you.
I'll be shooting him in the back. So perfect. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this turns out. If that actually is his face, then he's going to be caught 100%. But if it's not his face, then I think he's in the wind. Like,
I got a hard time believing too, if we're just going to go down the rabbit hole for a minute, I have a hard time believing that this is just some guy that, like, his mother was denied a claim. And so, they lost the estate and she died, because at that point, like, you're dealing directly with the CEO of the hospital and the doctor, because it would be one of them that come in and say, this isn't covered, we're not doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Which doesn't happen very often.
I also have a hard time believing that someone that would do this and would kill someone and knows enough to cover their face would just expose their face in where there's obviously a camera and everything.
Supposedly that was a hostel where they got that photo from. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think they would expose their face in a hostel.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, I think that's idiotic. All right. Let's move on to some extremely exciting news. Zach, go ahead and pull it up. Bitcoin is now the 10th largest currency in the world.
Gang.
For those who don't know, it surpassed $100,000 in value, which sounds like Bitcoin is just skyrocketing, but it also means that the dollar is just tanking.
Right.
It's both things are happening at the same time. Bitcoin's getting more valuable, the dollar is getting less valuable. And I've been harping on this for 4 years now, ever since I really started going all out for Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin, man. This is my only financial advice I'll ever give to people is buy some dadgum Bitcoin.
There you go.
And hold it.
I'm no expert either, but I know every time it sets a new all-time high, it retraces 10 to 20% in the following 3 weeks.
Yep. It's going back down to 80.
Yeah.
Going back down to 80-ish.
So if you're looking to hashtag BTFD, just watch it.
So I don't think it'll be 3 weeks. Okay. I think it'll be late January, early February when it will go back down.
Is that buy the fucking dip? BTFD?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I've never heard that. So I was trying to do letter math there.
DCA first. So dollar cost average. Buy a little bit every day or every week or every month. And then when it dips a lot, buy the dip.
There you go. And then hashtag Lambo.
And hashtag retire on a mountain without any Lambos or diamonds.
Can a Lambo go up your road?
No.
There won't be much of it left by the top.
Lamborghini makes trucks.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Do they make a truck or an SUV?
It's a truck.
What?
Yeah.
How? Show me a truck. Zach.
Well, they call it a truck. The rappers call it a truck. Mercury's just bought one.
Zach, pull up a Lamborghini truck, please. I want to see this because I don't believe Steven at all. I think that's ridiculous. Also, oh gosh, that is not a freaking truck.
That's not a truck.
Lunatic.
Who calls their car a Urus? It sounds like urine.
Maybe it's Urus.
Urus. That makes it worse. I don't think it makes it better.
Apparently, while we're on this, apparently the original pronunciation of the planet Uranus was actually Oranos.
Oh,
that's such an.
Which would
we're just a bunch of pervs.
That would make it a lot more professional to say.
That honestly, that car, SUV, whatever. I'm not gonna call that a truck. That looks like just like an extra fancy Honda. What's that little model?
Look at that.
Oh wait, Alden. That okay? I'll take that as a truck.
So present tense makes is a little exaggeration.
88. Yeah.
Rappers floss that for sure.
Okay, that's sick. Okay, yeah. If you buy that, you can come up to my property. Anytime.
Does that have a bed in the back? Is that like almost like a Gladiator or something?
Yeah, it looks like a Gladiator, basically. A Lambo Gladiator. Oh my gosh, that is the ugliest thing, but so cool.
I would rather have that over a Cybertruck.
Yeah, I would too. 100%, without a doubt.
The Cybertruck's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
I bet these things are so expensive now, since they were only made for a few years.
Yeah, they probably are.
I know there's a Tesla dealership about 25 minutes from my house in town, and they were having problems with raccoons trying to get in the Cybertrucks.
Really?
Confusing them with actual dumpsters in the middle of the night.
I'm starting to see more and more Cybertrucks in real life, and every time I see one, I'm like, I can't believe it hasn't finished rendering.
It's proof that we're in a simulation.
It literally looks like a refrigerator on wheels.
Yeah. Have you seen that picture of the next to the dumpster that has the double hinge?
Yeah.
Like dumpster. It's exactly like those dumpsters.
I saw a great video. There was some, I don't know if it was an art student or what, but it was, you remember that video of, or it was the picture that it was on Drudge Report. It was Elon Musk was going swimming. This was back at the beginning of the year, like start of the spring. And he's all just pasty white and barrel chested and just like standing looking all awkward on the dock or something like that. So someone took that and they outlined his body and then turned it sideways and put wheels under it, and it's a freaking Cybertruck.
Yep.
That's funny. No, I've not seen that.
Look, I don't care what y'all say. I love the Cybertruck. I love it. I don't want it.
Oh,
I
just
love
threw
that.
up in my mouth.
I love that it's out there. I will say the black ones are sick. Like the silver ones, I don't think look as good. The black ones look incredible.
I've never seen a black one.
Edition too that came out that has like graffiti on it.
Yeah, they do have those too. Yeah,
yeah.
Like the all black ones, like
they come pre-graffitied.
Probably not pre-graffitied. There you go. I mean, it's almost like Batman would drive it.
Yeah, come on. That is pretty cool.
It's way cooler than the silver.
Batman had a stroke and didn't know what to do with his money. Then
did y'all see that Joe Burrow bought one of the old Batmobiles from The Dark Knight?
Oh, really?
No way.
Yeah, $3 million.
That's it.
He can do it. So
they had 10 of them. They were auctioning them off for $3 million a piece.
They made 10 of those things.
Yeah.
There's two original Batmobile models in Noonan, Georgia, not far from me.
Really?
Every now, like if the weather's real nice, every now and then that guy takes it out for a spin.
Nice.
And I mean, everybody's just like honking at him, like that's so cool.
Which
like,
era Batmobile are we talking
about? The Michael Keaton Batmobile.
Yeah, oh,
that's
classic.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, let's go to the next Bitcoin thing, Zach. Before we get too far off topic,
before we just start comparing Batmobile eras here. Yeah.
The German government sold 50,000 Bitcoin last year, or earlier this year, which cost them $4 billion in missed profits. This is why I say hold your Bitcoin, y'all.
Well, what about our states too? I mean, like we've got like 17 states, I think, that'll allow you to pay your property taxes in Bitcoin.
Don't pay your property tax. Don't give your Bitcoin to the government.
But here's the thing. They've got the law that they have to sell. They have to convert it to USD within 90 days.
Oh, interesting. So they got to put it back in the ecosystem.
So, I mean, if you're hodling for a couple of years and your property tax bill goes up, you pay them in Bitcoin and then BTFD 90 days later from the government. How cool would that be?
Yeah, I'm down with that strategy.
Right? I mean, that's hey, follow me for more ways to beat inflation.
Speaking of, Zach, bring up the next one. Because this is what I wanted to talk about. If you bought $100 of Bitcoin when Coinbase was founded in June of 2012, it would now be worth $1.5 million. If you kept the $100, you'd only be able to purchase about $73 worth of goods today. Bitcoin is the best earning asset of the last 12 years, and it's still early days. Every government, especially those looking to create a hedge against inflation, should create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Happy Bitcoin 100K day. This is what I've been saying for a very long time. Very long time being 4 years for me.
All right, time to put my highbrow hater hat on, because there are a few issues with this tweet.
Okay. Go back to the tweet, Zach, so that Zane can try to rip it apart.
First of all, if you're going to convert, like when it says if you kept 100 USD, you'd only be able to purchase about $73 worth of goods today. I mean, obviously that's horrible because of all the terrible inflation. But if you're gonna adjust the value of the $100, if you kept it as dollars, you'd also need to multiply the 1.5 million by 73%. You can't adjust one figure and not the other to make it the comparison look even worse than it already is.
1.2 million. Got it.
The spread is still a million plus, but
and you would also have to, if you put the $100 in a savings account and had it rack up, that awesome 3% each year, so you'd end up with like $76 worth of goods. So,
but you'd have a couple of fees that would negate your savings. So.
There we go. Yeah. You overdraft.
Yeah,
and also probably a much more important point than that, which I admit was extremely pedantic. The second to last sentence here, where it says every government, especially those looking to create a hedge against inflation, should create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Yeah. The last time I checked, you don't need to create a hedge against something that you directly control yourself.
Yeah.
That would be
that's fair. That is an excellent.
I need to create a hedge in case I don't feel like going to work tomorrow.
I need to wear a bulletproof vest.
The government is literally
in case I shoot myself.
Okay, I will admit, Brian Armstrong seems like he is affiliated with Coinbase in some way, shape, or form. Probably doesn't. I don't know. He probably is not a.
He's a co-founder.
Co-founder and CEO at Coinbase. Yeah, he's probably not a full-on Rothbardian libertarian. So
that's too bad.
Let's not judge him as though he was one. So yeah, that last bit of the tweet was stupid. But other than that, he is correct. You would have
the larger point is still stands, but
the larger point is put your money in
your mouth.
Store the value of your labor in hard money in Uranus. Yes. Store it in Uranus.
In Uranus.
You can fit 63 Earths in Uranus.
Hard money. Okay. Hard money that
you don't want flaccid money.
You do not want flaccid money. You want the hardest money that there is.
Yeah.
And that would be Bitcoin. So just please, for goodness sake, the number of people that I've tried to tell to buy Bitcoin, and those, I think the percentage who have actually done it is like 5%. And I've spoken to thousands of people at this point, and thousands of people have seen Divide and Dominate, which harps on this for the last 45 minutes of the, of the movie. It's like, just buy some dadgum Bitcoin, y'all. It's really not hard. Somebody had the best, I forget who it was. It was the other day, somebody sent it to me, but somebody had the best way of looking at it. You're not buying Bitcoin. You're migrating to the new financial ecosystem.
There you go.
Which is exactly
early adopter perks here.
Early adopter perks, man. But that's how it is with everything. The early adopters benefit, but so does everybody else in the long run. Even people who adopt it later on will benefit.
And I can tell you, being somewhat plugged into burgeoning construction trends around Metro Atlanta here in Georgia, I am seeing small private Bitcoin mining operations pop up.
There we go.
In rural agricultural type zones, and it's usually in the suburban type counties where power is still cheap, and it's people with Asian sounding names, and make of that what you will. But I mean, seriously, I mean, they're leasing, 2 acres, 3 acres, 5 acres here and there, and just putting up Bitcoin miners.
Doesn't matter what their last name is, they're going to be saying ka-ching.
That's right.
Steven, I'd like to know what an Asian sounding name is versus an Asian name. I would love to can you give clarification on that?
Well, because I'm not a demographer, so I don't know exactly where they come from.
You're the etymologist. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, they could be Filipino.
Okay,
but if your name is like Wu Zhong Lu or something like that, like you ain't from Kansas.
I have some white friends named Wang, so that's Asian sounding, but I don't think it's Asian. So
yeah.
Oh gosh, Grumpy in the comments also says buy gold, silver, and ammo. Highly recommend
gold, silver, and brass. Yeah.
Yes. Those are 3 crucial elements to have in your wherever you store your stuff, whether it be at the bottom
of your butt
or in Uranus. Yeah.
Safekeeping. Where do you keep your extra magazine?
One more thing before we move on to the next topic. Zach, go ahead and pull it up. Be sure to steer clear of morons like the person in this video.
Who's this?
No intrinsic value to this asset. And now it's starting to be priced appropriately. So it has what's Bitcoin at? 16,000? It has another 17,000 to go down.
Really?
Yeah. There's no intrinsic value to this product.
And do you think that people have just inherently lost faith in the idea behind crypto because of FTX?
Well, it became an ideology. And whenever you invest based on an ideology, you're going to make some decisions that are a little divorced from math.
And what do you mean by ideology?
Well, the people who really like crypto are convinced that it's the currency of the future and that a decentralized ledger is the way to go, and that anything that is controlled by a government entity is by definition a negative, and if it's done by the private sector freely, it will be better. And that's just not how currency works.
Yes, it is.
Currency is a method of exchange and a store of value. And for that, there has to be a degree of trust, and you have to have it managed in terms of volume. I mean, one of the craziest things about Bitcoin is that there will never be more than X number of units of Bitcoin. Well, by default, that means it can't be used for trade, because the whole idea of economic activity is that there's expansion, which means you need more currency to lubricate and manage that expansion. If currency is locked into a specific number, you get monetary inflation, and that is one of the fastest ways to destroy an economic model.
I cannot even fathom how stupid this man
is. That CEO of Ripple Labs? is he invested in XRP? Because that's an XRP philosophy.
That was him on Rogan.
He was saying the opposite of what is true in this case. That's insane.
Every single thing he said was 180 degrees wrong.
Yes.
Dude, if you listen to that full episode, which I did, by the end, I mean, you can't even believe how stupid this guy is, how arrogant this guy is. He thinks he knows.
I don't even know as much as you guys about this, and that everything he was saying was just stacking just dumber and dumber and dumber to me. And it's not just incorrect to a degree, it's like the other way around is true.
Yes.
If you have just a wildly expanding base where you just keep, that is inflation. That is, what is he talking about? Where if it's a fixed number, that is going to lead to inflation. How? What the fuck? I don't even want to understand.
I think he may have, that specific example is just so factually wrong. I almost think he may have misspoke, and he may have meant to say deflation.
Oh.
Because a lot of economists have convinced themselves that deflation is actually really bad. Obviously, if you are learned at all in Austrian economics, you know that deflation is actually really great, and it's the natural progression of things. Things as it becomes easier to make stuff, and we can make more stuff should get cheaper.
We've seen it with technology.
That's natural
a lot,
and good. But then when all of a sudden you call it deflation, all the economists start freaking out like it's going to cause some huge depression. But it's just what should happen if the government's not, printing a bunch of extra money for themselves.
Yep. And I forget that guy's name. If anybody out there knows it,
I don't know.
Put it in the chat. It was like a year.
I want to know to stay away from him.
So it was like early this year, like January.
February. And the sad thing is, he's going to leave Rogan and he's going to go to a bar and he's going to pay $50 for 1 ounce of Pappy Van Winkle. I'm like, I'm glad this is in short supply. This is delicious.
That's actually a good price for an ounce of Pappy.
That is
That's
such
funny.
a great analogy.
I love that though. Yeah.
That is a really good one.
I think I had I think it was like 75 for like a 2-ounce pour or something like that, which is like as good as I've like ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
For like a 20-year or something. But
They had some company called Aged and Ore that makes some great whiskey products. They had a sweepstakes to win a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. I did not win, sadly.
No,
but
I think I'd have heard about it.
$499 MSRP. Why are people paying $3,000 a bottle for this stuff?
Because where can you find it? MSRP level, like.
Yeah, sure. Wait for the next allocation. It's a $500 bottle of whiskey at best.
Yeah, but it's so stinking good. And a lot of the ones that people buy are older. So they're like 5, 10, 20 years old. So,
Do they still make it?
Yeah.
They still produce it?
They had a big warehouse fire like last summer.
The thing that I heard was like there was a big gap in production. But I wasn't sure if they had started making it again.
Yeah. So it was, whatever year they were housing in that warehouse, that price went way up.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach says one of those Lamborghini trucks sold for $325,000 this year.
That's a lot of Pappy you can get.
Have
for that.
mercy. That's a lot of Pappy.
I would rather have the Pappy.
If anybody out there is looking for a Christmas gift for me, Pappy Van Winkle would be the one. There it is. Peter Zahan. That's his name. Dude's a freaking idiot.
Okay, so he is not. And actually, I made an unfair swipe at the CEO of Ripple Labs because he actually did listen to. A lot of folks were like, "Dude, what? There's trillions of XRP coins, and you own 75% of them. Why would I ever buy into your Ponzi scheme?" And so then he took 90% of his own supply and put it in escrow and said that, only so many coins are going to be released into the market, every couple of years for like the next 20 years or something like that. So he did. Yeah. He at least made an attempt to introduce scarcity and take away his centralized control, because that was always the swipe was like.
Yeah. I mean, people's obsession with each new idiot coin that comes out is so stupid. Quit getting involved with the shit coins, and when you lose money with them, quit whining about it, because you knew it's a 90-something% chance you're going to lose money if you're going to trade.
I believed in EOS. Okay,
do you believe in Hawk coin?
No.
Hawk Tua coin.
Hawk Tua girl released a coin.
Is that for real? Is that what that is?
Yesterday, I think. And rug pulled. People lost thousands and thousands and thousands, and I don't feel sorry for any of them.
No, why would you buy that?
You invested in a coin based on a meme that was based on a chick who was a meme,
a living meme,
spitting on penises.
Right. At that point, just make an NFT of the meme.
What are you doing? Why are you investing in this? You're an idiot. I don't feel sorry for you. You deserve to lose all your money, and she deserves to take it. I
knew where that sentence is going, but hearing it come out of Jake's mouth.
That's what they call a periodic sentence.
I mean,
my God.
I don't understand it, man.
That's hilarious.
I know the culture especially in the United States is just like get rich quick and no patience. And so
I threw like $50 at Shiba coin one time just in case it blew up, because it was $50 that I was like, I was willing to, but that's it. I was $50.
So I turned 50 to 500 with Shiba.
See, I have no problem. I have no problem if you're just like, okay, I have some extra money and I'm just going to play with it. It's just like playing with the stock market. It's the exact same thing. There's no difference.
Yeah.
But when you go online then and complain or say these people should be investigated by the DOJ, shut up.
Yeah.
Actually, the difference is
coin, you moron.
Now that's the saddest part of the FTX though, because their app, dude, their charting. I mean, the free app had amazing. You had all the analytical tools with the candlestick charts. I mean, you could do the Fibonacci zones, you could do the Trident. You could do any kind of chart pattern analysis you wanted with the candlesticks was on their free app.
That should have been red flag, Steven.
And the news tab, I mean, the news aggregation that they had, like I knew everything going on in the crypto world because of their news. That was like,
what's the saying, man? What's the saying? If something's free, then you're the frickin' product.
Well, yeah, I mean, they wanted me to, pay their service fee to buy coins through.
Yeah. And they wanted to steal your money because they're thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
they made a good product.
I would use their charting tools and then go on Binance.
Perfect. There you go. Don't give them
the real problem here is that you think that technical analysis is worthwhile, when really technical analysis is a load of bunk.
I thought the saying was
the problem with offering free charting tools is not that they're free; it's that you're encouraging people to use charting tools.
So you're a fundamentals guy, huh?
No, I'm a random walk guy.
All right.
Especially from the perspective of your average investor. Like if you're like working at a hedge fund and you have almost instant access to all the news and you can actually really deeply understand what you're looking at, there might be some value to like diving into the financial statements.
I was
or
trained
like
by some
trying
of
to
those
trade
guys.
based on news. But if you're like an average investor, by the time you actually are able to make a decision about anything, all the information that you think you know has already been priced in by the market. So you may as well just try to not beat the market, which will almost always cause you to lose money. Just buy a good diversification of stocks and some Bitcoin and just enjoy the ride up. Don't try to like get cute.
Yeah, don't buy the FUD. Don't think that you can do like 3 hours of YouTube videos and all of a sudden be a day trading swing trader. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah. And just buy Bitcoin. That's it. That's how we're gonna end this. Just buy
We should
Bitcoin.
have a party for Zane whenever he wants to invest more in stocks. I want to put a bunch of like a board on the wall, like with portfolio options, and play pin the tail on the donkey, and we all just like randomly put pins in the wall, and that's going to be his portfolio.
I'd like that.
I mean, it's funny you say that because I honestly don't invest in any individual stocks. I only invest in ETFs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually would be perfectly happy to do something like what you're describing because I don't think it makes any difference.
It'd be funny to be like, how do you compare to like the average, investor or the market or whatever?
They have literally done studies on exactly this, where this is a legit economic study where they literally had monkeys select a portfolio by pointing at random stocks in the newspaper.
Nice.
And they made a portfolio out of that and then compared it to professional fund managers. And the performance was pretty much the exact same.
But then why is it that Nancy Pelosi is so much better than the monkeys,
Because she's so much better than all the other investors.
That's because it's right. Allowed for Congress.
Right, yeah.
All right, let's go to our final story for today. This was brought to us by Stephen. 9 Georgians face federal indictment for money laundering conspiracy. Let's see. The U.S. Department of Justice said the main man behind it all, Assad Amir. What are you doing? Stop. Haswan orchestrated this part of the conspiracy from behind bars while serving time in a Georgia prison. Stephen, can you give us a summary of what happened here?
I don't have all the grim details of what and how.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, they have unfettered access to any academic resources while they're in prison, typically. Yeah. So they can train themselves to be this polished, suave-sounding, would-be investor, and they can pose as anybody they want to. I mean, this is the most gangster thing I've seen since the Nortino crime family.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Let's see. It says, while incarcerated, he orchestrated an illegal scheme that defrauded victims of millions of dollars from jail. That is unbelievable.
Monopoly needs to change their rule where when you're in jail, you can still collect your rent,
Exactly.
So not to get us too sidetracked, but I will anyway. I think it's only a house rule that you can't collect rent when you're in jail. I think the default rules is that you can.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
I always played you couldn't as a family kind of thing, I guess.
So this guy made $3.5 million in property and money.
Yeah, he was fun. He was running a fake car rental company, and I guess he was doing enough to make it look good on paper to some people, and they were just investing in it blindly.
Huh.
Crazy. I was kind of expecting to know one of these people, but I don't know any of them. I mean, that you got to hand it to him. He's pulling off crime outside of prison while in prison. Like that's unbelievable. I mean, it's like mob level genius.
Right. I mean, talk about truly humble under God.
Yeah. I just found. Yeah, I agree with. I'm glad you put it in the chat, man, because that's an interesting one.
And look, I mean, these are not like there's only one or two of them that are like young people. These are like, what did these people do? Are they in prison for white collar crimes?
Yeah.
You know, like, are they just sitting there in the yard one day and they're just like, man, got to find a way to get my hand on some money when I get out of here. And it's like, oh, well, I'll tell you how to run this fraud scheme. And, oh, well, I used to be a banker. Let me tell you how to do this. And then like, they all just get together.
Yeah, it's friggin' genius.
Honestly, if I were in prison for white collar crime, I could see why something like that would be appealing, just for something to do.
Yeah, especially, I mean, depending on your sentence too. If you have like a 20-year sentence, whatever. I'll do whatever. That would be fun.
Right.
If you're already a criminal and there's no chance you're going to have a life again, yeah, I'm going to stay in the crime road.
Right. Yeah.
That's the problem with that. Yeah,
that's not rehabilitation.
No.
Like, I don't care for state-sponsored, prisons or any of this crap, but like, I do like how Norway does it and how Sweden does it.
How's that?
There's a maximum sentence for any crime. Like the maximum sentence for a crime like murder is 15 years, but it's not 15 years in prison. It's 15 years in rehabilitation. You're in like legit livable conditions. You work with a counselor every single day. Like it's very intense. And it's far more designed to fix a broken person than it is to cage them.
To just punish and perpetuate. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you can do when your prison population is 0.01%.
I was going to ask what the numbers,
and not 1% of your population.
Yeah. I was going to ask what the numbers were. But.
Well, let's release the 0.9%, and then just deal with the 0.1%. How about that?
Release all the people that were arrested for possession of drugs.
Yeah.
And how many that would be.
Tax evasion and tax fraud and all this garbage. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And then we have a
tax evasion, tax fraud, all that kind of stuff. So like, you don't pay your taxes, so now you get to live off of taxes.
It's perfect.
Ironic.
What?
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah. All right. I think it's that time, everybody.
All right.
If I can find it. There we go. Get it blasting up in there. I know that's the part that Zane looks forward to most each week. Sorry, let me get the
music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta have it.
There we go. At some point, Zane, we're gonna have to change the music.
No.
Why?
Because I can't do this for a full year longer.
I don't like change.
We fear change.
I never would have suspected that, Zane.
How many pairs of underwear do you have?
I want everybody to know
that
David Montgomery has already gotten me a touchdown.
Nice.
Very happy. Yep. I'm in a must-win situation.
Are you really?
In order to get a bye week. Yeah.
Oh, that's not a must-win.
It's a must-win situation.
No, honestly, the bye weeks, they always ruin me. I would think that they're good, and then I get them, and then my team does really well on the bye week.
Alden, that just means you would have lost in the second round no matter what. At least this week.
Because you would have played a different opponent. And I've literally done the math on this before, and there are times where I was absolutely fucked in the butt by having a bye week and would have potentially won all the way if I didn't, which is very frustrating.
Okay. So the audience is weighing in on the music. Audience will revolt if you change the music.
I'm telling you.
Audience, I can't believe you like the music. Okay.
The people have spoken.
All right, Zane, take it away, buddy.
Anyway, since we're talking about fantasy football, I'm pleased to announce that I'm actually the only person in my league right now that's even clinched a playoff spot.
Oh, nice. Well done.
Very well
Did you
done.
pick your fantasy players by just throwing darts at a list of players? Because that might have done well this year, actually.
No, if you recall, I drafted them during a libations episode.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Because the commissioner doesn't care about my podcast.
I'm in 2 leagues, and my standing is true libertarian fashion. I'm not relevant, but I am the kingmaker. Whereas, if people lose to me, they're out of playoff spots.
Perfect. Yes. I love being in that position. I'm in that position.
You were there last year. Yeah.
I'm in that position right now.
Yeah.
All right, Zane, take it away, buddy.
All right, as usual, this is trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1, 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2, 6 questions, 2 points each. Round 3, 4 questions, 3 points each. And I will say, I was getting upset that Nick was winning too much, so I tried crafting these questions about things that I didn't think that Nick would know better than anybody else, and now Nick's not here.
Perfect. Yeah.
So,
That's great.
So it's all about candy corns and lesbians.
now I'm pretty sure Nick knows about that.
Damn. He's just an expert.
Round 1 is about leftovers. Round 2
is that a reference to something, or is it just food?
Thanksgiving, obviously.
Oh.
Because I try to get these questions written a few days in advance, all my topical categories are all usually a little bit stale. Like, had I written them faster, I could have written a category all about, like, assassinations or something. But,
stale, like leftovers.
But, yeah. This is round 1 leftovers, round 2 rebrands, of course inspired by the infamous Jaguar rebrand from a few weeks ago. And round 3 is 2024 in film.
Do you say Jaguar, the car?
Yeah.
Dude,
that's part of my rant.
Perfect. Okay.
It's a small piece, but
cannot wait. Yes.
Yeah. It's related.
Round 1. Leftovers. Question 1. What French cooking method, often described as halfway between a sauté... Jake.
Sous vide.
No. Steven.
Flambe.
No. Often described as halfway between a sauté and a stew, since it involves lightly browning meat and then simmering it, is often used on leftover turkey. Alden.
Braising?
No.
That's browning and stewing, so. I'm not even kidding.
Steven.
Reverse sear?
No.
Stewing in what? Oil or water?
It can be oil or fat.
Oh, well then that's...
It's not anything that the audience is saying. Alden?
Confit.
No.
All right. Now I'm mad. Cooking on a lower temperature in oil is confiting.
No, this is a cooking method that specifically has been described as halfway between a sauté and a stew in several famous cookbooks, so I'm sticking with it.
They're not books I've read.
Specifically, The Art of French Cooking by Julia Child.
I actually have that book, so I should know this book.
Alden's just burning himself right now.
I guess, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be frustrated if I see this name.
This is fricassee or fricassee.
All right.
I've never
Fricassee.
Fricassee. Fricassee.
It's
Question 2.
like a shallow fry confit instead of a fully submerged or whatever. Like, fine.
Question 2. To preserve delicate leftovers that would be crushed by vacuum sealing, an alternative to removing all of the air is to replace all of it with what gas? Jake.
Nitrogen.
That is right.
Nice. Farts.
You know, the only reason I knew that was a pure guess. The only reason I guessed it was because I just stopped off at the Costco air filling station and they fill your tires with nitrogen.
Nice.
Specifically, the website where I read this suggested that you could preserve potato chips by doing this. I'm like, those must be some really good potato chips.
How long does it take people to eat potato chips? Like 3 years? That's crazy. I've never had a potato chip go stale. Maybe that just means I'm.
You leave the bag open overnight, it's pretty rough.
Oh well, right, yeah. But if you just clothespin it, like it's fine.
Right. Yeah.
Question 3. This leftover meat has succumbed to what condition? Jake.
Freezer burn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I beat Jake. Damn it.
You didn't.
But I beat you in fantasy football.
Fair. Yes.
Also, not a brag.
Question 4. Leftoverture, released in 1976, is the best-selling album of what band?
What was the name of it again?
Leftoverture?
Leftoverture.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god, I have no idea.
Leftoverture.
What
It's a
year?
band all of you know. 1976.
76.
The Wonders.
No.
That's funny. I had another name in my head. I'm just gonna say it just because I was thinking
Alden.
I was randomly just thinking Stevie Wonder, but I don't actually think it's right. But when he said Wonders,
Steven.
the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Earth, Wind, and Fire?
No. Your hint is that this album contains what I think is their biggest hit, which is Carry On My Wayward Son. Alden.
Kansas. Or wait, are we naming the band or the... Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot what the question was at this point. Turkey.
Question 5. The name of what Chinese dish can be roughly translated as odds and ends or assorted pieces? Alden.
Is this the poo-poo platter?
No.
Okay. Because I know that's a bunch of little different kinds of things, but to defend my guess.
Yeah, it needed defending. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Audience has it. It's chopped.
Oh.
Good job, Sumquack.
Nice.
I would never have gotten that.
That was actually my next guess. I'm frustrated, but that's a cool. Good for them.
Meet new guy pan.
Cream of some young guy.
Didn't that?
Question 6. Is it just me, or does the music keep getting louder? And
I don't hear it at all, actually. Is it just in
The
one?
audience-
It is definitely hitting a crescendo between the questions.
When
All right.
we don't speak, it comes up. When we
Wait.
speak, it goes down.
No, I don't hear it.
Okay.
I'm sad.
Question 6. The feeding of the 5,000 is the only miracle of Jesus recorded in all 4 Gospels. Along with 2 fish, how many loaves of bread were multiplied into enough... Stephen.
2.
No. Jake.
7.
No. Or enough food for everyone, plus 12 basketfuls of leftovers.
Is this the starting number? What was
Yeah, I'm asking for the starting number of loaves. Alden.
12?
No.
Man.
Stephen.
4.
No. Jake.
3.
No.
I mean,
Audience has it.
I was literally gonna go with the next
No.
number. Like, I don't know this
Man,
story.
I
so
can't believe I couldn't remember that. I really thought it was 7.
No,
Really
well,
thought
it wasn't.
I really thought it was 38 million.
That would make more sense than it wouldn't be a miracle, though.
Ah, that's just pragmatic donation. That's not a miracle, right?
Right.
I mean, I think Zach was closest, actually. He said a few.
A few? It's not wrong. It's just vague.
Question 7. In what song does Weird Al Yankovic describe how he uses the title material to store his leftovers? Alden.
Tupperware.
No.
Damn. Felt pretty confident, even though I don't know this song.
I had all these cassette tapes. Oh my gosh.
Jake.
Rubbermaid.
No.
Oh, I would have been so pissed.
Steven.
The food song.
No, it's not a song that would have been on a cassette tape, because it's from his album Mandatory Fun, which is from the 2010s.
He's still doing stuff?
Audience has it. It's Foil.
Tinfoil hat.
Wow.
You don't even have a container? That's pretty redneck. Even for me.
Yeah.
Question 8. What kitchen appliance which circulates hot air at high speed using a fan?
Air fryer.
Oh, yeah.
Those are just convection ovens that are given a different name. Honestly, I could go on a whole rant about air fryers. It makes me so mad.
Dude, I love it because I don't have to even touch. It just sits on the counter. I put one thing in it, heat it up, go.
You made me so mad. My hair stood on end. I want to burn every air fryer. They're so stupid. They're just awesome. Use your oven. I don't understand it. You can only cook this much food.
All I need is one plate.
Get a bigger one.
It's how I reheat French fries.
Get a bigger with some things of your whole. Then you just have an oven. Oh my god, they're just ovens. They're little ovens.
Dude, reheating French fries in an air fryer is so much better, and it takes 4 minutes.
Have you ever tried to fricassee the French fries?
Oh my god. Yeah. Do the fricassee in duck fat. It's way better. Sorry, small rant on air fryers.
It is better.
Right. At the end of round 1, I have Jake with 3, the audience with 3, and Alden with 1.
I don't hear the music. That's why I'm doing so poorly.
You haven't heard the music for the last few times.
Yeah. That's why I'm doing so poorly.
Grumpy says, come and take it, Alden.
Is this about air fryers?
I think it's about air fryers. You're being a little shit about it.
No, you can have it. You can have your air fryer. I don't want it.
New merch idea. It's the come and take it flag, but with an air fryer instead of a cannon.
You can pry it from my dry, crispy fingers.
I love it. That's the best thing ever said about air fryers.
All right, round 2, rebrand. Question 1.
Oh, okay.
Copy Nothing, the advertisement kicking off Jaguar's much maligned rebranding, includes a variety of nonsense phrases written out in their new typeface. Besides Copy Nothing, what is one of the other 4 of these phrases?
Oh, God.
Jake.
Be bold.
No. It's something even more inane than that. Steven.
Stop hate.
No. Alden.
Be you.
No. Jake.
Damn. I haven't seen that.
What?
Diversity.
No.
Damn it. I blocked this commercial from my brain.
Alden.
9/11 was an inside job.
I wish.
Car. Do nothing. These are great, actually. I wish these were the ones.
Car is so
just
funny.
car.
Steven.
Drive Jaguar.
No, that would actually make sense.
That would make all right, yeah.
Jake.
Stand out.
I would end the question, but I'm having too much fun listening to you guys try to come up with it. Eat bugs. Alden.
Own one thing and be unhappy.
No.
Hope.
All right. I don't think anybody's getting this. So these are create exuberant, Live
What?
vivid, delete ordinary, and break molds.
Oh my
but
god.
spelled moulds because they're British.
Moods.
Wow.
Wow. Create exuberant, not exuberance.
Right.
Create an adjective. Okay.
I forgot about. Dude, I blocked this whole commercial from my brain because it was
Now,
so.
Don't
live
live-
vivid is fun to say.
Don't live vividly,
Live vivid.
though.
Live vivid.
Live livid. Live livid. I edited it. I edited it.
I think my favorite of these is delete ordinary. It has a real delete your account vibe to it.
I think I still have a MySpace floating around because they like won't let you delete it unless you can remember your login. And I just
never deleted my MySpace either.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Huh.
I guess. I don't know. Tom can have it.
Zach wants to know if that was the font.
It's not their actual font, but it's the closest font in PowerPoint that I could find to it.
Good on you.
Oh, MySpace deleted itself. They lost.
They deleted ordinary. Yeah.
Question 2. During the COVID lockdowns, what chain began operating ghost kitchens under the name Pascali's Pizza and Wings, unbeknownst to many of their customers? Alden.
Denny's.
No. Jake.
Domino's.
No. Steven.
Pizza Hut?
No.
Repeat the question.
To delete brain. During the COVID lockdowns, what chain began operating ghost kitchens under the name Pascali's Pizza and Wings, unbeknownst to many of their customers? Alden.
Papa John's?
No.
Damn.
Jake.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
No.
Mm.
Once Steven goes again, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Hmm.
Steven, guess something.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. I'm going to. Little Caesars.
No. So,
good guess.
I specifically said chain because it's an establishment that most people do not think of primarily as a restaurant. Alden.
Sbarro?
No.
Damn, because they're like only in mall courts or whatever.
Not Walmart.
Oh, so like a non-food. Oh.
They have food, but they're not known in the public consciousness primarily as a restaurant.
I understand. Better, at least now.
Steven.
Love's Travel Stop.
No. Jake.
7-Eleven.
No. Alden.
Circle K.
No.
That's what
Not
Hunt Brothers
Brothers.
was what I was thinking about. It's already pizza, so I didn't go with that. But there's so many Hunt Brothers around here.
Steven.
That's a good question.
Quick Trip.
No. It's not a gas station.
Okay. Damn.
Is it Jiffy Lube?
Oh man, I think I'll take seed oils over that. Man.
The fact that none of you know this, I think speaks to the fact of why they decided to rebrand this way and have people not know.
Kmart, yeah.
Oh, here's the best
Are they
one.
even a thing?
Halliburton.
Halliburton.
These are more. I love these guesses. Oh wait,
Alden.
Taco Bell.
No,
Doing
this
pizza.
is none other than Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh my God, no!
Really?
No. I said Denny's first because Denny's was another one that had all these like pop-up like ghost kitchen things, and they tried to make them sound like, you know, hipster fancy or whatever, and it's all Denny's kitchen shit. Like, but I did not know about Chuck E. Cheese getting on the scene here.
Oh, man. The
God.
old Child Casino and that pizza.
Yeah.
So Pascali's actually is still around, and if you go on their website, the only way you would be able to know that they're affiliated with Chuck E. Cheese is if you scroll way down to the bottom of the website. In the fine print, it says, operated by CEC Entertainment, Inc.
They disguise it into CEC. Oh my God.
Oh, because the parent company of Chuck E. Cheese is called CEC Entertainment.
Oh, okay, so they can get away with the.
Funny.
Wow, that's crazy.
They claim that when they deliver pizza under the Pascali's brand, it actually uses higher quality ingredients than the regular Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I
So
don't
now
know.
they're just admitting that Chuck E. Cheese is dog ass and that it needs to be better.
Hey, don't knock dog ass till you try it.
Jake, you're killing me tonight, man. Oh my God.
I guess you could have known if you had really deep knowledge of Chuck E. Cheese lore, because Pascali is one of the names of the other animatronics in the Chuck E. Cheese band.
Wow, that's some deep cut knowledge, though.
Wow. Zane, you should not be going to Chuck E. Cheese's anymore, man. You got to stop this.
You got to spend 7 nights at Freddy's to know all that.
Yeah.
All right, question 3. Still trying desperately to repair their image after almost 2 years, Bud Light now airs commercials featuring what comedian? Jake.
Shane Gillis.
Yep.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Hilarious.
I've not seen these.
Question 4. These elaborate diagrams are leaked from an internal presentation preparing for one of Pepsi's many rebrands. In what year was this particular redesign announced? And this is the closest to the year, so everybody gets one guess. Steven?
1985.
Jake?
2009.
Oh, that's so funny. I was going to say
Alden.
2008, so I'll go in between.
It's not Price is Right, it's whoever's closest.
That's so funny. I was just sticking with my original
So you're
answer.
saying 2008?
Yeah.
No way!
Holy shit.
Wow.
I had a vague memory in high school of it changing or something, and so I just went with that's the year I graduated.
When somebody picks their number, you shut up and you let them make the mistake, okay? Alden had changed his.
Nope,
he was
I
going
do what
in
I want.
between mine and Steven's, and I would have been closest. You jagweed.
No, I was
too
sticking
bad.
with 08. I wasn't gonna be budged.
You said you were going in between.
Yeah, it is in between. It was in between. It's just under you, and it was. Didn't he, Stevens? You said 09, right?
I said 85.
Yeah, and then Jake said
I said
09.
09.
Yeah, so mine's in between.
That is not in between.
It's in between.
Touching me. I can feel your skin on mine, man. That's not in between.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys had ever heard about this leaked memo, but there's some wild stuff in here. For our audio listeners, there's a diagram here labeled "Gravitational Pool of Pep."
This is
And there are these
Pepsi.
diagrams of the Earth's magnetic field and relating it to the shape of the Pepsi logo.
Wow. Pepsi admitting we didn't go to the moon.
Man.
Oh, man.
It's too bad their soda sucks.
It really does. It's terrible.
They
Good, I'm
lost
glad
me
we
with the you started experimenting with dead babies to make your flavoring more addictive.
Is that a real thing? I've heard some.
Yeah, Sonomics is the company, and they were using them for flavoring, and they use tissues from dead babies to make their flavors more addictive to certain demographics, like Pepsi and Doritos. Take a guess.
Yeah. I've heard also that the cola flavor is something that does not give you sensory fatigue when you taste it. So every time you taste it throughout the day, it tastes just as good as the first time, basically, which is another why they landed on that for the flavor of cola sodas is because it is not.
You're never chasing the dragon. It's always there.
Yeah. You always get that dragon. Yeah.
They
That's
still
right.
failed with Pepsi because it tastes like shit every time.
Yeah, I don't know. They missed the mark. Coke got it. I don't know. Pepsi wasn't in that meeting that day, I guess. I don't know.
RC all the way, baby.
RC is not bad, actually. I like RC better than Pepsi.
Better than Pepsi.
Yeah.
All right, question 5. In the first several versions of iOS, This icon represented what app? Alden.
Instagram.
No.
Damn it. I thought for sure. I felt good.
Steven.
Music.
No.
Is that an app?
Yeah, Apple Music's an app, just not this one.
I remember the app.
Jake has to go before you can go again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking. You can give me 10
I
seconds.
think the reason you saw Instagram was the Instagram app used to be an old camera.
Yeah.
What's not anymore?
Stupid thing. I don't know. Contacts.
No, Alden.
YouTube.
This is in fact YouTube.
Yay.
What?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. I would not have gotten that.
I mean, it's an old tube. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach got it right after we got it.
Question 6. What team used this Alden?
The Buccaneers.
F
Yeah.
you, Alden.
I lived in Florida.
You and I are so close.
I know.
If my hand hadn't been...
We've had a few that were really close, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to really... Did you see me like...
Be careful of
really
correction, your hand.
Don't go too high with it,
Don't go too high,
Yeah, too high. Oh my god.
All right. At the end of round 2, we've got Alden with 7, Jake with 5, and the audience with 3.
Audience,
So
you're
anybody's
backed
game.
off in round 2. Dum-dums.
Round 3, 2024 in film. Question 1. What film starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande? Jake.
Wicked.
Oh.
Saw it
Yeah.
10 minutes ago. It's good.
I wasn't gonna know that.
Musicals aren't my thing, but
Just
No.
apparently don't go to wicked.com.
it's
Yeah, dude, I did when you posted that just to see what it was about, and I did
They
it
were like,
for
oh,
everyone.
it's listed on all the children's toys, and it takes you to a porn site. I'm like, that's disgusting. What's it called?
Yeah. Yeah. It's apparently supposed to be like wickedthemovie.com or some shit, but whoops.
Funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. It was good though. I enjoyed it. It's Nikki's favorite play of all time. So
Of all time.
Yep.
Wow.
I think I only like 3 musicals ever.
Newsies?
Yep.
I'm not like a musical.
Gotta love Newsies. Little Shop of Horrors?
No, garbage.
What?
Nikki thought I would love that. It's the stupidest.
Steve
movie.
Martin getting high on nitrous and beating his girlfriend and riding off on a motorcycle?
Yeah, some of that was great, but the rest of it's dumb.
Yeah.
Lion King. How about any Disney movie?
Honestly, any Disney movie is basically a musical.
Grease is gangster.
I've never seen Grease.
I just grew up on, so I love the Nightmare Before Christmas, which
I don't like Tim Burton, so
I like that one.
Yeah.
And have you seen the one with what's her name, Bjorn or whatever it is? There's a really fucked up movie with her, and it's like sort of a pseudo musical kind of a thing, but it's also like a really dark film. That was pretty good, actually.
You mean Bjork?
Bjork, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, Bjorn. There's another artist called Peter Bjorn and John, and I always cross those wires for some reason.
There's also Bjorn Borg. So.
There's Bjork. Anyway, she's
Zane,
in.
you can tell us to
she's in
shut
it. It's
up
good.
whenever you
Yeah.
want.
Well, sometimes I try that and then you don't listen.
Yeah, this is perseverance, Zane.
Yeah.
You got to be stubborn.
Okay.
If at first you don't
Question
succeed,
2.
keep sucking till you do succeed.
Okay. What follow-up to What is a Woman is the highest-grossing documentary of 2024? Jake.
Am I racist?
Damn it.
Indeed.
What is that?
Matt Walsh.
Trolling
Man.
the entire woke movement. It's unbelievable.
Are these all? Oh, this is 2024 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
These documentaries. Yeah, and you got to have the Daily Wire subscription to get to see them.
Well, you could have seen it in theaters.
Oh, there you go.
Question 3. What film is now the highest grossing animated film of all time? Steven.
Dragon Ball Super.
No. Jake.
Moana 2.
No. Alden.
Frozen?
No. Remember how the category is called 2024?
Yeah, that's what you said highest grossing of all time, and it came out this year?
Jake, it's not The Lion King.
Yeah, I'm going to retract my hand.
Okay.
There's an animated movie that came out this year that's the highest grossing of all time.
That is what I said.
Wow.
Snarky.
No, it's all right. I just like I'm
That's
shocked.
what I said.
That is it. Yeah. Did I stutter?
Steven.
Inside Out 2.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, nice.
Boom!
Good job, Steven. Get on
That's
the
the
I was
board.
going to say, if it's a cartoon that came out this year, I had to go see that thing with my son.
Some
Quack
quack
was
got
right
it
on your
directly
tail there, yeah.
after you.
That came out this year, and that's the highest grossing animated movie of all time. That's crazy. I haven't seen it yet.
For inflation, I bet it's not.
That's fair.
You always got to adjust for inflation.
Steven's on the board.
Steven's on the board.
That's your first point?
Yep.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. There's so many times where I've had a big fat zero.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Don't
I
even
have
worry about it.
Zero.
I just was like, I don't know. I just didn't even know that. Anyway, let's move on.
Question 4. What film is now the highest grossing R-rated film of all time? Steven.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's what I was.
Steven,
Yeah.
you son of a bee.
I just watched it.
Yeah.
I
thought it was pretty good.
Which means that our final tally is the audience with 3, Steven with 6, Alden with 7, and Jake with 11.
Nice.
Sorry,
I'd have
Zach.
won if I'd have just been faster.
Sorry, Zach. I was too excited to make myself win right there. That was awesome.
Well, I'll
What's
live vivid next time.
Vivid.
What's the guy who plays in Deadpool in that movie, and he's also in Succession? He plays Tom or whatever. Matthew McFadden or something.
I don't know.
He played like a surprisingly good role in that movie. Like the work that he put into it didn't match like the caliber of the movie. Like he played a crazy nuanced like villain. It was cool.
Is he so I've only seen one episode of Succession. I'm gonna finish it, but
It's very good.
Is he the one that's like if I don't get this, I feel like I might die?
I don't know if that's. Okay. I don't know from that one line.
Was he
He's
also
the guy
Big
from
Short?
He's no, that's Ken. That's the guy that plays Ken or whatever.
Gotcha.
He's the guy from like Pride and Prejudice that plays Mr. Darcy.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
But he's a really good actor. He's one of my favorite like newer actors.
He's a good actor. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, y'all, we've reached the point in the episode where Alden's going to air his grievances.
Oh yeah.
This is what's the stinking Seinfeld holiday that they make up, George?
Festivus.
This
Festivus,
is
yeah, for the rest of us.
I've got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about them.
All right, Alden, what is your rant about tonight?
So I'm not sure whether to start. I'll start in the broad.
Okay.
And then narrow it down here. So I hate when you sign into like any browser, most browsers or whatever, and you get like, here's the little search bar thing, and then here's like these these articles, these like recommended articles for you. Some are sponsored or whatever. This is where, oh my God, the things that are worth knowing, you usually have to look for. The things that are foisted upon you are just dog shit. And there's one or two that catch my eye, just like when I log in to do something that I'm like, oh, thank God, that's annoying. There was one the other day that was so obnoxious. Every article going down, I was like, oh my God, throw up in my mouth. It was just so insane. There was like 7 different articles that were, and Okay, I strung this like crazy like just narrative across all of them. I'm gonna go through and say them, and then I'm gonna like go back and dive into the one on the pardoning situation a little bit.
Perfect.
So we start with the pardoning, and spoiler alert, they blame Trump just for the whole thing. It's about Biden pardoning his son. Guess how many times Trump's name is mentioned in this article that has nothing to do with Trump? It's insane. It's higher than 10. It's
38.
It's not that high, but it's 15 times Trump's name is mentioned. Keyword search 15. It's ridiculous. It's like 6 reasons why Biden pardons his son, and Trump is blamed in every single one. It's insane. Okay, I'm not even a fanboy. It's just a trend, and it's nauseating. Then there's an article on like China bans export of critical minerals or whatever. Guess who they blame?
Oh,
even though he hasn't been president in 4 years, they blame Trump for his, trade war with China thing 4 years ago. Okay. Then it's they attack RFK and the seed oils thing for the Thanksgiving, and they have a whole article making fun of him about cooking with beef tallow and all of this or whatever, which is frustrating on so many reasons. And I also was just going through my notes and found this case where the American Heart Association was paid off by Procter & Gamble to basically say that heart disease was caused by saturated fats, not by seed oils. And Procter & Gamble makes Crisco, which once was like made with lard, shortening stuff was, and now is seed oils. The one time I bought it,
in the 1900s, it's so what they like after World War I, they had all this leftover machine grease for the submarines.
Submarines, yeah.
One or two. I thought it was 2.
Yeah, I think what they paid the American Heart Association was something like $25,000.
It was 20 million.
A lot of money.
Yeah, or at least one of the more recent ones maybe was 20 million or whatever. Yeah. But it was a lot of money. 20 million in today's dollars. So excuse me, 20 million worth or whatever. But and that was a whole thing. We could have a whole thing on that, on like the canola oil and the subsidizing for that, and it's not even like edible. But then there's an article on the Tesla owners that are embarrassed to drive their car now because Elon is involved with Trump or whatever. So it's an attack on Trump and every one of Trump's associated, cohort members or whatever. So we've got RFK and Elon or whatever. This is all on one, just what pops up on one page. Then we have
tiles.
Yeah, just a mosaic from hell. Okay, so we shit on the one electric car. The very next article, as if this was not like, it's just planned, is the Jaguar article, like on the new e-car for a Jaguar or whatever. So it's like shit on. Like Jaguar, expensive e-car that's not Tesla. Like, I don't know, just stringing it together just was so frustrating. All right, now going to dive into the reasons for that they basically defend Biden pardoning his son or whatever, which again, I don't even care, but it's just frustrating when the way that they package it, and it's like a double-edged sword with how they treated Trump before when he was pardoning people and all that, whatever. So the first reason is just literally, the first word of this article is Trump's name. The first word of the first of 6 reasons, it says, Trump has made no secret of his desire to keep going after the Bidens. So it's, you have he started it, is your first reason. The second reason, I'm not even going to read the rest of that one, it's just stupid. The second reason is Hunter Biden's cases were handled differently. Okay, and what they mean by this, apparently, is that Trump had appointed the attorney for Delaware and the judge or whatever, like that was, presiding over the case or something. So it was stacked against Hunter. So it was unfair, so that was case 2, was just that or whatever, which is like, all right, fine, whatever. Then the third reason is, it says inaction was never really an option. And you're like, what? Okay. And then it goes into that Okay. They kind of blame Trump. They also blame Trump voters in this one. So they say Trump repeatedly floated mass pardons, about the January 6th thing or whatever. And then it said voters decided that, that was appealing, or at least not disqualifying, and chose to give Trump the keys again. So basically it's like, because we voted for Trump again, then it's okay. Like, what? The reasoning, I don't get it. So fourth reason, it says, this is just the quote, family is central to the Biden brand. Like, that's a reason. And it gives the sob story of his other son dying. So it's using that as like he only has one son left, so we've got to pardon him, basically. Like, I just don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
So
because who else is going to molest the granddaughter?
Yeah, we got to keep the line alive here. Like, oh my God. And then it goes into a thing in this where someone at like a meeting, some Iowan or whatever, like at a meeting, challenges and asks Biden about Hunter's work in Ukraine back in 2019 or whatever. And it says the situation like in defense, like this is a good thing, where the then former VP, Thomas Biden, called the man a damned liar and challenged him to a push-up contest. Like, this is his way of resolving this. It's so stupid. This is a real article. Like, I can't even believe that this is a thing. And then the fifth reason, it says Joe Biden could do this without much of a check. It basically is the reason of like, he has the power to do it or whatever, which is like, okay, fine. But then they go into, on this one, his quote in June of, I will not pardon him. So they basically sort of address his flip on it and his lie, and then basically just say, but he's, again with the like, if Trump did it and that whole thing. And then they say so despite Hunter Biden's ghosts, he still has sway inside his father's inner circle as the eldest living child of a once imagined political dynasty. When we were talking about these same types of things a few years ago, it was nepotism and it was a negative thing. Now it's a once imagined political dynasty and it's painted in a positive light. Like, what? It just, the same types of shit was happening with Trump and his family and shit before, and getting appointed to different positions, and it was nepotism and it was all negative. The last point is, this is going to sting, but maybe just for a beat, and basically says that Trump's going to come up with some crazy shit and it'll be in the news and it'll be out of your mind before you even, like, it won't even last. Like, basically, that's the point. Like, it says, to put it simply, the pardon is not going to stay in front of mind for most Americans, and Trump is likely to find a way to hijack the public discourse as Team Joe runs down the clock. How is that like a worthwhile reason? Like, I don't understand. What is this article even for? Like, what are we even talking about? It's just dribble. It's nonsense. It's all bullshit. And I don't even, how is it an official article? Which one? Who did this one? The Time did this one. Like, oh my God. Anyway,
that is a wild article, because it seems like it's pitched in a way that it could only appeal to the left, but the left already doesn't have a problem with Joe Biden pardoning Hunter, so why do they even need to hear it anyway?
Why does it exist?
I thought that Clint Russell had the best tweet about this entire situation, and because he said, it's not about prostitutes, it's not about being his son, it's not about smoking crack, it's not about gun charges or taxes. It's about Joe Biden using Hunter Biden as the CIA's bag man in Ukraine for every corrupt activity you can imagine. Yeah. That's why he was pardoned.
Yeah. I like that.
Which, people like to say all the time, too, about, like, live each day like it's your last. What would you do if you knew tomorrow was your last day? Or what would how would you live if you knew today was your last day?
That one.
What's that?
Ask Ryan Thomas about that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's just, would you go skydiving? Would you go Rocky Mountain climbing? Would you smoke a 2.7 with a hoe named Lucy Liu? Because let's say you don't know tomorrow's your last day, but you've got a pardon that expires at midnight. What would you do? And that, my friends, is when anarchists and caps become minarchists. Because you think about that long and hard. What would you do if you had a presidential pardon that lasted until, well, not tonight at midnight because we're close to that, but like you wake up in the morning, okay?
Feeling like
it's like an hour before your lunch break, 10:30 in the morning. You get a pardon that does not expire until midnight that night. That is when you're like, the
purge.
Maybe we do need some protections here and there. I don't know. But it's just, I mean, I wouldn't stop in traffic. I can tell you that. I'd bump everybody out of the way.
I'd go do some truly destructive things to the government. That would just be I'd just burn everything. Everything.
Like white collar crime.
Burn everything to a CD.
Insider
burn
trade,
all those illegal songs to a CD.
You can create a shell company of a rental car company and
from prison.
Right.
Well, not yet actually, because you're pardoned. So.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, just think about that for a second. Like, what would you do if you knew you had a presidential pardon until midnight that day?
What would you do?
That's right.
Do you know that? If you were asked to give
a good federal crime without proper notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things I tell my wife, though. Minarchist in the streets and ANCAP in the sheets.
I don't think we have time to get into it. I'll just leave it at saying this is a terrible argument against anarcho-capitalism. But
because I can't argue against it, Zane.
But the scenario you're describing, I feel like it's a very fertile ground for a new movie that's essentially a cross between The Purge and Brewster's Millions.
I don't know that second one.
Brewster's Millions. It's a guy who inherits like 50. It's a guy that's going to inherit like tens of millions of dollars, but he'll only get it if he can actually manage to spend, I think it's like $15 million in a month and end the month with no assets or anything to show
so he has to.
And this is back in the 80s when $15 million was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
Vladimir Zelensky has entered the chat. Only this modern day movie that we just discussed. I mean, Jason Statham's got to play that one, right?
Yeah, Alden, did any of what you read like surprise you, or was it just like astounding that it was all lined up like that?
I think the reason I made a thing about it today was the amount. So usually there's like one or two that'll pop up, but like pre-election and post-election, there's been so much lately. And I think normally it's like, best holiday cookie and like how to please your man and like some other bullshit that's like in between.
Of course,
there.
that would be the article that comes up on your feed.
Yeah, right, yeah. And
hang on, Zach says I'm a minarchist after that argument because I support the death penalty for Stephen.
But there was barely any of the fluffer stuff, and it was a lot of politically driven headlines with very easy biases, like very obvious, tilts toward everything. And it was just frustrating to just like be able to just like thread the needle through all of them. And so for me, they read as pathetic and obvious.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about the people because they wouldn't do these if I'm like, why do you even make this? Like my whole thing was like, what are you even saying with this? Like these aren't points. Like why even produce this? Why spend the man hours like to produce this article or these strings of articles? But they're every day they're cycling through just, I don't know if fucking Chat GPT is writing them or what the hell. There's so many. But someone must be reading them and influenced by them. Like, otherwise they wouldn't, I guess, make them. And it just scares me how one-sided all of the pop-up media stuff is. And there's no nuance at all. There's not even good points in one direction. It's just bad points in one direction. But
I think one of the good things you can take away from it is the fact that that's been going on, I mean, minimum for the last 4 years, probably the last 8. 15 years.
It's been getting worse for
Getting
like
worse and
20
worse.
years or something. But
But
yeah.
Despite that, over 50% of the country either didn't see it or completely ignored it. And like, it didn't say it, like in the past, that probably would have swayed people. You know, it probably would have actually affected the outcome, but it didn't affect the outcome at all. Like, I think fewer and fewer people are taking those sites seriously, which I think is a good, I think is a great thing. You should definitely get all your news from Liberty Libations. Come to this show. We'll give you everything you need to know. Everything that we don't cover.
If you want to learn about fricassee.
Fricassee, yeah.
Yeah, when everyone was calling 2024 the podcast election, the podcast they were talking about was Liberty Libations.
Oh yeah, we were the Liberty Libations. Yeah. But anyway, it's alarming how one-sided everything is when the easier stuff to get to reach is just all one-sided. But
it's been really interesting. So, me and Nikki are in the film world, so we know a lot of Nikki's friends and my friends by proxy are very left-leaning.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's been interesting to see like the people who are actually genuine people who actually like care and are thoughtful and aren't just trying to get likes and all that. It's been interesting to see them come up to Nikki and be like, or Nikki or me or whatever, and be like, you voted, like I can tell you, like you just by the way you're talking, like you voted for Trump. Like, what is it? Like, what am I missing? Like, so many of her friends have asked, like, what am I missing?
In an earnest way, like really asking, not like snarky or whatever, but that's interesting.
Like what, there's clearly something happening and I don't know what it is. Because they've just been fed the same thing.
That's what I'm kind of talking about, though, is that it feels to someone who's only steeped in surface level stuff or steeped in a deeper of this type of culture.
Yeah.
I watch and I see just like, it's just a wash of just a bombardment from one side. So it doesn't even look like there's a counter argument unless you seek it out. And a lot of the people that I've been watching over the years that have counter arguments are getting just plucked from YouTube, and just like they're very much not going to have their articles with these points or something. Like there's not going to be libertarian points pop up on your like browser page or whatever.
Yeah, that's
suggested for you and the Fed.
Yeah, everybody needs to go to libertytwist.com and let's start promoting those articles, because those are all libertarian articles. Go to antiwar.com. Let's get those on the like front page of Google and Brave and all that.
I would love to get those on like the Brave, the startup page or whatever.
Yeah, I have yet to click on a Brave article, like that auto populates that I found interesting.
None of exactly.
It's mostly pop culture, so I don't really give a crap about it. But
that's more like inane, harmless stuff, and that's like why I made a point about this one is that each of the articles that I was talking about like thread together and have like political sort of points, and all have like more sided, and they're not just like cookie recipes or whatever.
Actually, you can customize Brave, and he made his all about Bitcoin.
Okay, but Zach's a nerd. I don't do that. And I imagine millions of other people don't even use Brave, let alone, do that with it or whatever. So like, I'm now going to look into it, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Zach. But also the point still stands of like where people are getting their information that aren't already trained to like look for things beyond the surface level. But
so here's some silver lining in the pardon too, or at least this is the opposite spin of what you're getting, because this is what happens when I open my browser tab. They're saying that, Max Jordan says that now that Hunter Biden has been pardoned, he's no longer covered under the Fifth Amendment. So he can't, you can't plead the Fifth and just say, I'm not going to incriminate myself or my family. Because
he's already been pardoned?
He's been pardoned. You can admit to this. You can put it on the public record. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I went on Burisma. I wasn't.
So it's like an official.
Crack the whole time.
officially you're excused, but also acknowledging what you did.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because now it's entered into the public record.
Because you can't excuse someone of something you didn't do.
These things. So yes, you did them. Yes, you were guilty, but
right.
It doesn't matter. But since you did them, who enabled you to do them? And you're now stripped of your Fifth Amendment protections to incriminate your family.
That's interesting. I've never thought of that before.
Yeah.
That is.
But logically, that makes sense. Where if you're
now
excused
technically,
for something,
he can be called to the stand and say, "Dad made me do it."
Yeah,
that'd be fun. I would like that. All right, we're gonna go on to the next one.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, my teeth are blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
Still, every time it's funny. At some point, I will rework that one. But welcome to Drunkard of the Week. For anybody who's not tuned in to Drunkard of the Week before, it is we accept nominations. You can nominate them through our Discord or through Twitter, X, whatever you want to freaking call it. Just hashtag Drunkard of the Week or tweet at us or whatever. You are nominating videos, Stephen. Still nominating articles. Videos of people doing or saying something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not.
I did nominate one video.
Oh, I did not see it. Did you do it today?
I think I might have put it in the funnies instead of the drunkard.
Well, why'd you do that?
Clerical error.
The baseball pitcher.
The baseball pitcher. Dadgummit. Didn't. Okay, that might be next week's. We'll see.
Okay.
This week we have, this ridiculousness. Here we go.
Brave Trails. Of course I'm in full Frankenfurter drags at 7 a.m.
I work at Camp Brave Trails. Of course I have ducks in my pockets.
I work at Camp Brave Trails. Of course I feel safe to embrace my autism. I work at Camp Brave Trails. Of course I'm decked out in rainbow all the time.
We do the photos and videos of...
And I'm Doug, and I love Virginas. Real ones. Hey, we got a 21 compass that just came in. Camp counselor touched my special spot.
What?
Come holla.
We want to be free to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
We want to get loaded. Yeah. And we want to have a good time.
What a crazy man. I feel like everyone involved in this is like crazy for various reasons.
I think it's funny.
That's so good.
So, yeah,
I love Virginia.
First of all, I hate the trend of I do this. Of course, I'm that's the most obnoxious trend I've ever seen.
This is new to me. I live under a rock. I guess
people are doing with everything. Like I'm a long distance runner. Of course, I have chapped nipples. You know, and like,
oh my god. Is that a reference from Parks and Rec?
No, that's from The Office.
Oh, The Office. That's what it. Okay, I was like trying to place what it was.
The Office is always top of mind for me.
Oh my god. I was trying to place. I was like, who would have said that?
Yeah, it was
Jesus.
Andy. Or no, not Andy. Yeah, Andy Bernard.
Nice.
Anyway, I just thought that guy taking that video and putting himself in it as a car. Apparently, he does this all the time. He's a car salesman, I think, in Florida.
I bet it works for him. Oh, did you say Florida?
Apparently, he is uber successful.
Of course, it's Florida. Oh my god.
And yeah, people follow. Like he's got his own Instagram account and his own TikTok, and people follow the mess out of him because,
of course,
he does all that stuff. I love.
He's a brave man. I love it. Yeah,
real ones.
Real Virginas, real ones. The hand motion.
Oh, well, there's our drunkard of the week, everybody. There wasn't Alden. Stephen, I'm gonna have to go look at the one you submitted. But yeah, let's see. Anything from the audience? Y'all got anything to say before we go to the funnies? Yeah.
Or forever hold your penis. Speak now.
Or forever spit on it. Let's see. Okay.
This has been a crazy episode, guys.
Oh my gosh, Grumpy is wanting me to bring up Meth Jake. Fine, I'll bring
What's
up
Meth
Meth
Jake?
Jake. He found.
Is this just you on meth?
It would appear so.
Okay. I'm really interested.
So let me find it. Hang on.
Is this your SCAD days?
Go Grumpy.
Being all scatterbrained.
Okay, let me share this real quick. There we go. All right. When people ask what my hometown is like, man on meth caught having sex with frozen turkey behind dumpster on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's so sad.
And it kind of does look like
Jake,
me
you need help
in a very frustrating way.
You're supposed to thaw the turkey first, Jake. Come on. Everyone knows.
No, you're not. Frozen.
You like it cold?
You probably last way longer.
Frozen turkey. Natural numbing effect, yeah. Frozen for her pleasure.
Oh man. All right. There's Meth Jake.
That is you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's you if you lived in Florida.
All right. Let's see. Let me wait a second. Sorry. There we go. Okay. We're coming back. Let's see. Zach says Buddy had one for me too. I don't know what that means. You can put it in the chat or
a frozen turkey?
Whatever. Yeah. Does he have a frozen turkey for you? Oh, he had meth me. Got it.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Gravy not included.
We're going to go back to this guy. And we're going to go to the funnies. Everybody, actually, we're going to, right before we do that, y'all, go to peacefulc.network, check out Dollar Media Club, sign up, subscribe. It's $12 a year. It's not that much. You're supporting the channel. You're supporting this show. You get perks. You get to come into the Discord. You get merchandise discounts. You get access to subscriber-only shows, such as the second episode of Pants Drunk, which is out on the website and Apple Podcasts for subscribers only. It features Suhas and Zane having about an hour and a half long conversation, wide-ranging conversation that I found particularly, hilarious. And
from frozen turkeys all the way to what?
Yeah,
what'd you cover? Yeah.
So go check that out. You get access to that. You get access to the Q&A sessions for Cascade Effect, and also go check out Cascade Effect. It's our most popular show on the network. And
I still need to listen to that.
We're in episode 3. Episode 4 will come out towards the end of this month, and we're basically trying to get a cop to be held accountable to his actions of murdering a civilian on his own property. So that's how. Yeah, just go over to peacefully.network, check it out. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. All right. Grumpy says good night.
Good night, Grumpy.
All right, let's watch some funny stuff.
That was pretty funny.
That was okay. This is Peloton instructors reading funny leaderboard names.
Okay.
God.
Loose guns.
Q Janus. I'm on to you.
Buster Cherry, happy birthday. Great to see you here.
Dixie Norman.
I won't say the name. Even more.
So Vandica.
Dr. Mike Hunt, happy birthday.
Drew Peacock.
Eating Beaver.
Drew Peacock.
Eileen Ulick, I see you.
Jack Mayhofer, happy
Excuse Drew Peebles.
Mike Hawkener, happy birthday.
Phil McCraven, 20.
Oliver Closehoff.
Phil McCracken, happy Dixie Rex. And Hugh Janus tapping at my leaderboard.
Colonel Angus. Sleepy John. No, I didn't mean to say that. Genitalia, happy 1000. You totally got me with that name. So fond of Cox, happy birthday to you. Loose.
Those are pretty good.
There are some new ones.
Yeah.
There are some in there that I've never heard before. Oh, all right.
The best thing about the name Mike Hunt is that it's a name that people probably actually do have.
Yeah.
They definitely have it. They definitely have it. Yeah. All right. So the chances of getting a ninja attack from a penguin are low.
Haley just showed me this the other day. It's so funny. We watched it like 4 times.
Oh, that is terrifying.
The penguin comes out of nowhere.
I thought they couldn't fly
upright.
Yeah, he flew out of the water. Like,
well, and just like Hunter Biden, they mate by presenting rocks to their would-be lovers.
There we go.
Oh God.
Oh, all right. I love this take.
If you guys in America call this a chicken sandwich, what the hell would you call what is on the right? Because here in the UK, we call this a chicken burger.
The one on the right we'd call rock bottom. It's like when you're recalling when you write the worst of your worst. You're like, yeah, I ate a British chicken sandwich. I was eating only British chicken sandwiches. Like if we had known that you'd been eating that and calling it a chicken sandwich, it would already be an American idiom for when you're at the lowest of your low.
So if you
yeah, they need to fricassi that sandwich. It needs help. Chicken burger, no.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. Next, hang on a second.
Chicken salad sandwich, right? Like, am I crazy? Like that's
yeah, chicken salad sandwich.
Yeah, and also as far as chicken salad sandwiches go, that's a sad one. I mean, I've made some pretty good chicken salad sandwiches actually.
It's an extremely sad one. All right, here we go.
I see a lot of these memes where it's like the masculine urge to bleed out here after a battle. I never got it. I thought it was about depression. I'm like, why are you guys talking about that? But then I came out to the middle of the state park and I had the most masculine urge to bleed out facing this lake while like my wife rides off on her valiant steed. You know, it just, let me try it out. This is my view. Emily. That was so masculine.
Yes, the tongue out, totally masculine. Yeah.
No, the I love that trend.
Is this a real thing?
It was a trend for a while. Yeah.
Oh my God. I come here to learn what the world is doing.
I know. I know if I say something or bring up something relevant to today's world, Alden's not going to get it. So these are mainly for the other people.
Yeah.
Although this one everybody will get.
You're losing your mind. We made the perfect cookie 100 years ago, and now there's no work left to do. I'm telling you, we did it. We won. Go home. Be with your families. Raise your children. Stop making new Oreos. Do you see that there is nowhere else to go? And Alexander wept, for there were no more worlds. We done did the good cookie that everybody liked, and now we get to go home.
Can you at least just look at these billboard and bus stop samples?
What do we need a billboard for? What do we need a billboard for? You know where a billboard is? Every cookie aisle in the world. I've never been to a grocery store and not seen half the cookie aisle choked with a sinful glut of bull Oreos.
Now with Wi-Fi.
You have a poison in your mind, and the fact that you can't see it makes me so sad.
We work really hard.
Don't.
Oreos.
Don't.
Cookies, they're soft. They don't have as crispy of an outside. Oreo thins, they're also quite crispy. Cinnamon bun Oreos. Cinnamon latte Oreos.
You are a babbling fool, and we have built a temple to madness. I get it.
I love that they're like soft Oreos, also crispier Oreos, like everywhere but the Oreo.
I mean, have you seen the number of flavors of Oreos?
I remember Oreos.
Dude, there's like 30 different flavors of Oreos now.
I mean,
Oh,
the
and
mint
then
one was okay. Other than that, I don't care.
The cherry Coke flavored Oreos.
What?
Vomit.
They're in Japan right now. Like that's a thing. People
But
are
they've
buying
been
the cherry Coke Oreos and dipping them in cherry Coke and eating them.
Just
Why do you eat both?
But they've been engineered so that it tastes great every time.
Yeah, there's no taste sensory fatigue.
Oh man. All right, y'all. Everybody out there, thank y'all so much for tuning in to episode 102. Yeah, we're in our second century. Second whatever. I don't know. What do you call it? Second what? Second hundred? It's not the second 100. There's got to be a name for it. Zane,
did you say tax bracket?
The 100.
I said syntax.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see. Two more. Let's see. Some quack says they also made Oreo flavored cherry Coke.
That's what I saw. It was people dipping the cherry Coke Oreos in the Oreo flavored cherry Coke. And
no.
Yeah.
You got peanut butter chocolate in my chocolate peanut butter.
Breakfast.
So when you do that, does it like open up a black hole or something?
It's antimatter and matter combining.
Yeah. Now here's a fun fact: they are vegan, or at least at one time they were, because
I think they are.
There was no dairy and no no dairy anywhere. It wasn't actually real chocolate. It was like chocolate flavor.
Oh,
so presumably it was at the time before they were testing flavors on dead babies.
I was gonna bring up the same good callback. Yeah, I was. I was gonna bring up the same thing.
Oh Lord!
Is chocolate not vegan?
Well, it could
milk
be dairy
chocolate
if it's milk chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that'll do it for this week. Thank y'all for tuning in. Share the episode, subscribe, like it, follow us, interact with us. If you have any questions, if you want to come on, if you have suggestions for good guests, send them our way.
If you have
We're more than happy. If you have rants, talk to Alden. I don't want to hear him.
If you have rants about air fryers and other nonsense appliances.
Let's see. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, we'll be back next week for more Liberty Libations. I'll be doing it from freaking Montana next week. Cheers. I have an empty glass, but cheers.
I have an empty glass as well because we did the show right. Yeah.
Next week is a math problem. 12, 12, 24.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
I like that.
Pleasing.
Yeah, Zane will have to do some trivia related thing with that.
When any of you were in grade school, did you guys ever play the game 24?
The Jack Bauer game?
Okay, never mind. This question went nowhere.
We were in grade school in the last century, so
I played Heads Up, 7 Up, and Tetherball.
Yeah, that's what I played.
Tetherball, yes. Some tetherballs in?
Yeah, I know Tetherball.
Okay, good. At least that game didn't disappear. Although I don't see many tetherball poles in any playgrounds anymore.
Come to Brooks. They're still there.
Sweet. Love it.
They can't spell, but they can play some tetherball.
I would love to play tetherball again. I got to put one of those poles in my yard. All right, y'all.
We should play one-handed tetherball where you have to hold a drink and you play tetherball with one hand.
Libations tetherball. We should the whole brand around it too. That's amazing. All right.
Bring back tetherball.
Love it. Bring back tetherball. We'll see y'all next week.
Cheers.